evening. We're here with a brand new episode of Poker Tonight. There's a lot going on in Las Vegas right now, so let's get to it.
The Rio Poker Room is bustling with activity right now. There are already quite a few new events going on, continuing events, and with new events starting each day, it's pretty much going to be busy like this every time we talk to each other.
So one of the final tables going on right now is the final table of the $1,500 limit tournament.
Yeah, that's right. The $1,500 limit event doesn't have any real big names at the final table, but Gary Stasinski is our current chip leader, and we will, of course, let you know who wins this event tomorrow.
The other final table going on right now is the $5,000 buy-in pot limit Omaha event with rebuys. Now, as we told you yesterday, this event attracted a lot of pros because of the large buy-in and the rebuys, and the final table definitely shows that. Some people who have already been knocked out from the final table are people like John Juanda and Humberto Brenes, and there's a lot of pros left.
That's right. We have Eric Cajolet as our chip leader right now. We have Devilfish Uliet, Bert Booten, Min Lai. They're all still remaining at this action-packed final table.
Now, Bert Booten and the Devilfish have tangoed before. When Bert won his bracelet in the 2001 World Series in a limit hold'em event, the Devilfish was the runner-up.
Yeah, and it's always great to see Devilfish clash with anybody, but Bert Booten has quite a personality of his own, so it's going to be quite interesting to see these guys. Hopefully they get heads up and we see some fireworks.
And ESPN will be airing it, so everyone will be able to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting event. And remember, the event only had 145 entrants, and that built a prize pool of $3 million.
Yeah,
so,
it's huge for such a small field.
Unbelievable event, so make sure you watch us for what happens, and then it's going to be exciting to watch on ESPN as well.
So what tournament started today, Rich?
Today we had the $2,000 buy-in No Limit Hold'em tournament that started today at noon. The current chip leader is John Hayes, but there were plenty, especially of the young internet players that participated in this event.
Brandy Hawbaker is second in that tournament right now in chips, and lately she's been getting tutored by David Sklansky.
Interesting.
Yeah, I heard that. So, at 5 o'clock today, the 5,000 buy-in World Championship 7-card stud tournament began. Now, we don't have a chip leader for that yet because it just started, but we'll keep you updated on what's going on.
Also, the $1,000 No Limit tournament with rebuys is on day 2. Obviously, the rebuy period is over. The chip leader in that event is Card Player's Online Player of the Year points leader, Sorel Imperium Mitzi. Now, before the day started today, Sorel stopped by our studios to have a talk with us about his participation in this year's World Series and his place atop the Card Player Online Player of the Year points board.
Sorel, right now you're about to head over to the Rio. You are the chip leader in the $1,000 rebuy tournament. How did you get to be chip leader on day 1?
Well, I mean, usually online I rebuy a lot. I'm pretty much classified as a rebuy maniac, and I usually end up like top 5 chips after the rebuy period.
How many times did you rebuy yesterday?
Only 3 times. It was the original rebuy plus 2 other rebuys. So I was in for 6,000, which isn't that bad. I had 20,000 in Rio chips. I fully expected to use them all and then have to borrow money after that. But luckily for me, I was only in for 6K. I had a pretty tight table. So
were there a lot of people rebuying in the tournament?
Not on my table. There were like a few nits to my left, and like a lot of people didn't even rebuy once. They just bought in for the 1K,
really?
And then they only had that stack. So, and then there were others that rebought like 4 or 5 times. But on my table in general, like it wasn't that much of a rebuy maniac fest or anything. It was just like pretty standard, and you know, it was almost if most of the people were playing it like a freeze out.
Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't expect that. So let's talk about your online triumphs recently. You just got back into first place, the Card Player Online Player of the Year. Tell us about some of your successes.
Well, I had a really good weekend while I was in Paris. I came first in the Sunday warm-up, and I also won the F-Tops event the day before.
Okay, so what did you earn that weekend?
Oh, that was a 160, 170K weekend. So, and plus I also like, I was like pretty down on my shark scope.
Okay.
So heads up sitting goes, I was down like at least 40, 50K, and I came up, I came up back to the 0/positive.
So that's good.
So it was a really good weekend. It was like a 200K weekend for me.
So you're feeling pretty confident in the World Series right now?
Yeah, I really, really feel that like no matter how unlucky I get, I'm really going to make a mark this year in the World Series because I'm playing like the best poker of my life, and you know, I feel so confident at the tables, and you know, online I never really pay attention to the way people are playing much. Like I just know how most of the people are, but live I can actually like know how people are playing and know what people are thinking and just completely focus on one table. It's amazing. Like it's just it's so much more fun, and it's like psychological warfare almost. It's amazing. I love playing live.
So now that you have been playing live a lot more often than you did in your past, you feel more comfortable? You think that will be primarily what you're going to do in the future, play live poker?
Definitely. And I feel so much more comfortable, like in comparison to my first tournament. I just...
What was the first live tournament?
The first live tournament I played was in Aruba.
Oh, okay.
So I was the first couple hours of that tournament. I was like so nervous, and I was afraid to bluff, and I was afraid to make continuation bets. I just wasn't playing my game. But now, I just look at everything from like an overhead view, and I just pretend everything is like online. And I'm getting better at reading people's chip stacks as well. That's one thing that I haven't, that I've been having trouble with in the past, like reading people's chip stacks. Because online, everything is done for you.
Yeah,
so
it's easy.
it's kind of weird to adjust to that, but I'm getting better at that. So
you're going to leave the 38th World Series of Poker with a bracelet on your wrist?
I hope so. I mean, it started off really great for online players. Mr. Smokey, who's a friend of mine, came first place in the first event. I really think that this World Series is going to be dominated by online players. I really do believe that, especially because like in the 1K rebuy right now, there's about 10, 15 players that I know from online.
Yeah.
And
that's got to help you also. You know how they play, right?
Exactly. I know how they play. I just feel that online players are going to crush this series for sure.
All right, I'll let you get over there and play the rest of it.
Thank
you very much, Cyril.
Thanks a lot.
After crushing online for quite some time, Mitzi has made quite a showing in the live poker arena. Taking down this World Series of Poker bracelet will be quite a feather in Mitzi's cap.
Last night, Tom Schneider won the 7-card stud high-low and Omaha high-low split tournament. Now, Ed Tenolier was the runner-up in that event, and he stopped by here earlier today to talk about it.
Last night you came in second place in the Omaha high-low and 7-card stud high-low split tournament. Were you disappointed about coming in second, or were you happy for making such a big accomplishment by coming in second?
Well, I was not expected to do anything because I was the extreme low chip stack when we reached 8 players in the final table, so coming second was a gift.
So going in as the short stack, how did you build up your stack?
Well, I basically only had 1 or 2 hands, and I started with a good hand with an ace 5-5 and hit a 5 right away, so I doubled up, and from there I just kept building.
So how long have you been playing poker?
About 34 years or so.
Are you a poker professional, or do you have another career?
I do basically just play poker. You can say I'm retired, and I just play poker now.
So what was your career before you retired?
Casino career, poker management.
Okay, so you're very in-depth in the poker industry.
A little bit.
So how long have you been coming out to the World Series?
3 years.
Is this your first cash at the World Series?
This is my first cash. I haven't played that many events. I've only played about 6-7 events. It's my first cash.
Do you remember any specific hands from that final table that really boosted you up there in the chips?
There was the one big hand where I started with the 2 5s and an ace, and on 6th Street I hit a full house, and the other guy hit a 3rd 8.
Who were you in the hand against?
David Benjamin.
Okay. What was it like playing with all those pros at that final table? It must have been a little intimidating.
Not at all.
No?
My Omaha and high-low stud games are so strong that I feel I can play even with them. It was great playing with them. I mean, I loved having them on the table, and I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Andy Duke was great. David Benjamin's a super nice guy. I didn't really get to know John Fan much because he was gone quickly, and I hadn't played with him at any other table. And who else was on the final table that was big? There was somebody. Oh, Chris Ferguson. I played with before, and he's always a super guy. So I loved it. It was great.
So which is your better game, 7-card stud split or Omaha split?
Omaha high-low is my best game.
That's your best game?
Yeah.
Would you say you're the best Omaha player who was at that table?
I'd say I could play equal with them.
And who do you think is the best 7-card stud player that was there? 7-card stud split, excuse me.
That's hard to tell because you don't see the cards as easily.
That's true, yeah.
You don't always know if they actually had a hand or not. So the chip leader was definitely the most aggressive player, but he's the chip leader, so you don't know if he's got the hands, but he's just pushing the table around.
What was it like playing Tom Schneider heads up?
I wish I had more time to tell you, to realize it, but it was over so fast, like 15 minutes it was done. He won the first 6 hands in a row, basically, and I had no chips left.
Okay, so are we going to be seeing you in more events this year? Which events are you planning on playing?
I'm playing the horse Saturday.
Oh, right, you told us that, and what else?
I'll be playing 1,500 pot limit Omaha high-low for sure. I'll most likely be playing the 2,000 Omaha high-low, and who knows what else. I got some money now, so whatever I feel like.
Well, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It must be great to come out to the series and find that kind of success so early on, especially at such an insane final table.
Absolutely. That's all we have for tonight, but be sure to come back tomorrow for another new episode of Poker Tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night.